So welcome to New Zealand anyway, Shane. So
thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure to have you here. Cheers. No one can accuse you of being a trust fund baby, can they? You were cleaning
sure
the
they
Cape...
can.
Well, I'm sure they can, but they'd be wrong, wouldn't they? You cleaning the Cape Cod Coliseum at 11, packing boxes in the warehouse at 13,
wow.
and the ring crew at 19.
Mm-hmm.
Stint as a referee. Vince really made you work your way into the industry, didn't he?
He always gave me a choice, but yes, he always instilled hard work ethic and everything else. I'm curious how you got that at Cape Cod Coliseum information. Yeah. That's pretty, see that? That's why you're the man, right?
Just quietly between me and you.
Well, and thousands of others.
What's your first vivid memory of the pro wrestling industry?
Really just, I've been going to the matches since I've been 2 years old. And my first one was at the Worcester Auditorium in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I remember I was so excited because, I've been watching with my dad, because my dad was on TV from when I was, at that age. So I would sit there and I couldn't really figure it out. And I would look over at him, and I look at the TV, and I look over at him. This is told to me by my mother. And I say, 2 dadas, So it was, so I said, but I always loved that aspect of it. And really going to my first match, I was so excited because my dad was going to introduce me to Andre the Giant. And when I met Andre, we just hit it off, and I was always going to be Andre the Giant's tag team partner. And that's what I always wanted to do. And I said, Dad, having no idea as a kid, I said, I'm going to grow up to be big like Andre, not small like you. So that's probably my most vivid memory and my first one.
When did you decide that you wanted to be part of the business?
Pretty much all my life. Just always wanted to be a part of it. I love it. I'm a huge fan myself. The passion. That's why we do it. If you're not passionate about whatever it is that you do, you shouldn't be doing it.
You've been off screen for a couple of years now, until just recently, and concentrating on your role as Executive VP of Global Media?
Correct.
What does that entail?
It's really all overall general direction of the company. I wear a lot of different hats, and you have your merchandising and your licensing, and from outside the camera, you have television production, again, merchandising, licensing, your live events division, marketing, consumer products. You have so many things wrapped into one. It's a pretty big Megillah, to make sure that goes the correct way. Everyone's working so hard on the road. All the athletes, are literally breaking their backs for the company, and they're in there every single night and touring, and it's a real hard life that way. The creative storylines. My sister's in charge of the creative writing team. She manages that group. But my dad's the be-all, end-all creative genius. So to that end's being taken care of and constantly worked on. We're going to make sure that the back end is really doing that. And being a public company as well now is extremely time intensive, and my mom is really handling a lot of that aspect.
Has the internet changed the way that you have to do business?
Absolutely.
How?
Well, as you know, something happens, it's all over the world. It's a global medium, global forum. So you can't have surprises anymore. We used to do something, if we did exclusively for the in-arena audience, it would stay there. Word of mouth on a telephone or things like that would happen. But now, if Batista, got a hold of Triple H, once the cameras went off, which sometimes happens, and gave him Batista bomb and really beat the crap out of him, that's now global because all the fans in the arena now are posting on boards, and they're doing their own blogs and sending certain things out, etc.
Are you excited about being part of the show again?
Well, I think I did more of a cameo. You have to tune in next Friday night here to find out who's the new GM, or if there's going to be a GM, or what's going to happen.
Well, let's say hypothetically.
You
become the Raw GM. Would you enjoy that?
Of course. No, there's nothing like performing in front of the crowd, and that's what all the guys. That's what they feed off of. We have a relationship, with the fans, and that's why we do it. As long as everyone's loving or loving to hate you, that's really the fun of it, and we feed off each other. And the fans know. You're a fan. I'm sure you'll be going to the show here in March.
Absolutely.
And there'll be so many, people holding up their signs. It's a sea of expression. That's what we encourage all the time. Everybody knows. I look at WWE as one huge family. whether it's people working at the office, whether it be the superstars or it's the fans. We all make it work, and it doesn't work without close partners.